Hello, everyone. I know you thought we were gone, but we're really hard to get rid of. We just had to come back. All right. It's Justin here, as always, with Ace, Nathan, and Xavier. The reason we are back, and we broke our oath, is because we felt we had to do a public service announcement and talk to you about this new Star Wars movie. All right. All of us have seen it. It is what is it? What do I want to call this? Like one day after what do they call it when after a nuclear explosion happens or something?
I don't know the word, but yeah.
Yeah. We're day zero after this movie released. We're back. Rise of Skywalker. I have a lot of notes on this movie, but I right now just want to get everyone's give me just a score. What do you think of the movie? How are you feeling about it?
Let's start with you, Justin.
Yeah. This movie has I don't know, it's troubled me. All right, I'm reevaluating, not just because of this movie, but in Star Wars in general. I had to reevaluate the series. Is how do I view these things, as a fan or just as movies in general? As a movie in general, I'm giving this, I think, a 4.5. It did not put me to sleep. Yeah, the plot I don't think was very good at all, but it's a movie. If I were to give this a fan score, I'm aiming for like a 2.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, I did not like this movie.
Okay. AC?
I give it a 6.5, 7. It was okay. I mean, when I say okay, it wasn't good. It was okay. Kind of like what you said. I don't think it was the worst movie that I've seen Star Wars make. So, yeah.
Nathan?
Gracious. It just hurts to hear that, because I know how big of a Star Wars fan Justin is. So sorry, Justin. Oh man, you must have been in so much pain. Did you cry in the theater?
I did not cry, but you know how people just have. No, I was just like the exasperated look people just have when just have their hand on their forehead and they're just staring in disbelief.
wrinkled eyebrows.
Yeah, I was baffled most of the movie, and I think I said really audibly twice. I'm usually very, very quiet in the movies. I think this was further caused because some people in the front row were just having a ball during this movie, and I was getting angry at that because I don't think they understood what they were watching.
Were they,
Come on, you don't have to ask, all right?
What? Well, because there's two types of people who have balls in movies, and it's there's the okay, there's the there's the kid who stands up and says, "Hey, this fool eating beans," and then there's the people who stand up and clap at the end of the movie,
and the guy that's sitting behind you during Avengers: Infinity War crying. That's Spider-Man's dying.
There was one point where all right, no, I'm just gonna call it spoiler alert. You all probably should see the movie at this point if you're still listening. But when Chewbacca was, it's not a spoiler because Chewbacca doesn't even die. All right. When we thought that Chewbacca died, this lady screamed in the theater.
Oh, so that's that Thursday night crowd.
That took me out of the movie experience because I did not know whether she was just reacting or if I was actually in danger.
Wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Justin.
Stuff like it doesn't help the movie out.
Okay. What was your score?
Go? My score is I'll give it a 7.5.
Okay.
So barely passing. Like for a movie, it's like seeing like a Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw movie. It's like,
no.
What did I really expect?
No.
Okay, maybe it's not. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
No. What? Come on now. You seeing stuff you've never seen before, right? That affects the plot like that? Come on now. Hobbs and Shaw, at least in Hobbs and Shaw, they're sticking to they're doing things that they've always done before in the sense that they're not going to space, You know what I'm saying? They're not Hobbs and Shaw on Mars. That's not happening. All right.
You're right.
Their reality stays the same.
they're like true to their universe.
Exactly. All right.
This, and even with going off of that, at least this is supposed to be the ending of a 9-movie trilogy or a 9-movie series, and they wanna just throw stuff together at the end of 9 movies.
Yo, you are so mad. I can hear it. It's the ending of a 9-movie series. You want to pull this bull crap at this movie?
And that's the danger of reviewing Star Wars movies. You can't go in there as a fan, which is what I'm not going to do. I'll do that probably in the second half of the podcast, because every fan has their own idea of how they want this thing to end. But just as a movie, from a movie standpoint, there are too many things which to me just don't make sense. Yeah. But we're gonna get into those.
Before we get into that, let me give you my score.
What's your score?
Yeah, what's your score? I thought this movie was straight garbo. I give it a solid 2.5, maybe.
Oh my!
It was garbage. I never felt this way in a movie before. Even during Last Jedi, I don't know. I didn't feel this bad.
Wow.
It was bad. Only I heard a few people laughing at some jokes in the whole theater. It was silent, no claps, no nothing. When the movie was over, everybody was sitting there. I was the first one in the theater to get up and leave. I don't know what they were waiting for. I was trying not to stand out, but I was like, I need to get out of here.
I tried to do that because I remember you telling me that, and I couldn't do it. There was a guy in front of me who was running. He was basically running out of the theater. So yeah, I was second person out of my theater, and I was sitting near the door. So
yeah, my theater clapped.
They clapped at what?
The movie.
At what?
That's that Huntsville stuff.
At the movie itself?
Yeah, when the credits ended, it was like,
yeah. My theater was just straight silent. Everybody was just depressed, and I was like, we could be depressed in our cars, guys. Let's go. So I had to get up and leave. So yeah, I thought it was bad, real bad.
Did you think it was worse than The Last Jedi?
That's what I'm still thinking about. I'm still thinking about that.
No.
I don't know, guys. This was pretty bad. I almost think so. I think it is worse than The Last Jedi.
What? I think it's bad because of The Worst Jedi. Because The Worst Jedi set it up for failure.
Hey, no excuse.
So let's dig into this a little bit more.
It's like being president after Donald Trump. Are you really going to do that great of it? Okay, never mind. Yeah, what were you going to say, Justin?
I think we have to look at this from how this new trilogy even came about, right? So what I imagine is that they say they had an idea of what they wanted for these 3 movies, but I really don't think they did. J.J. Abrams, I think, had his own vision of where he wanted the story to go. He had got the first movie. The second movie went to Rian Johnson. And I think he just took the story where it was and then just kind of ran with it and then kind of did his own story. So in a way, we're getting, I think, a random conclusion to a middle part that we never saw. Now they're just, doing damage control. And that's what I think this movie was, just damage control for 2.5 hours. It's not coherent. Except, oh my gosh, I'm not trying to get upset about it, but
it's okay.
There were even from
you got it, Justin. Come on.
Let the hate flow through you. It's okay.
The title
take
crawl.
Over. Oh, that was terrible.
The title crawl. They're just that's where they delivered that a voice recording came back all across the galaxy somehow. Palpatine, he's alive and well.
Yeah.
Now. Fresh off of just watching, let's say you just watched all of these movies in a marathon, and you see Palpatine get thrown down a several mile long shaft, and you see Force energy just dissipate upwards. Following that, you see the Death Star 2 atomize, literally become atoms, and we now have this man. Looks like he just has the same body. He's just attached to
life support.
Yeah,
like a clothesline or whatever, just moving around.
Some portal.
Yeah. And the only thing that happens now is I guess he's blind somehow. And now he's back. I'm just gonna work through the movie now. All right. So one of the first things we see is the Millennium Falcon go to that ice thing or whatever to pick up a random transmission or whatever. It's still space, and they had to drop a cord down to R2D2.
Yeah, stop. That's on my notes right here. I know it's the distant past, but this is future technology. Why can't you just email me this recording? Why do I need to get a giant cord that's bigger than Flynn's face? Put that in, and then wait for it to upload. It wasn't instant.
and then they were talking about the spy or whatever, and then a whole TIE fighter squadron comes into a wreck shop. They of course using the Millennium Falcon, which is several years old, I guess still in perfect condition. Poe expertly flies it around this place when I imagine he hasn't really been there before, but he's just that good of a pilot. Finn doing work on the laser cannons, even though the last time we've seen the laser cannons is from the first movie. But, they destroy all these TIE fighters. The thing that really made me a little bit upset was that we see Poe do these micro jump things. I think this was introduced in Solo, and then probably some other, probably in the Clone Wars or something.
Solo.
But the TIE fighters also follow in the micro jump, all right? This is where, you have to get into that source material. The TIE fighter is just...
Get in there, Justin.
It's a skeleton fighter. It doesn't have a hyperdrive because, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to get on their little carriers, and that's how they get transported. But these TIE fighters are following along somehow in, this jump, which, I don't think is explained very well. And I did not like that because it, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. Granted, you know what I'm saying? This may be a new variant of TIE fighter, which has a hyperdrive, but then how are they literally following behind you? I thought only the big ship from the last movie had the capability to track you in hyperspace. Now they've minimized it to go on a TIE fighter. So,
just like they minimized something else that was extremely powerful onto a small ship.
They gave, just doing some quick math, when you see the trailer, all those Star Destroyers, there's at least, I'd say, over 50 at least. They gave every single one of those a Death Star laser. Every last one of them. We'll get in that a little bit later. But, Poe and Finn escape, and then they go back to the Rebel HQ planet. And then Poe gets all butthurt talking to Rey, like, we needed you out there. When only like 2 people can fly the Millennium Falcon at one time, it seems.
Yo, he didn't say it like that.
Yes, he did. He said, "We need you out there. You're the best."
We needed you out there. Why weren't you? Were you trading? Trading for what? Huh? And then she looked at him with her little beady eyes, and she was trying to say, "Freaking Kylo Ren, stupid idiot!" But he was too busy having a hissy fit.
What confused me about that, Poe said that Rey was the best. Did he say best fighter or best flyer? There's no way he said she's the best flyer.
No,
for the rebellion, right?
He said fighter.
And what is she gonna do in space at that particular point in time, right? This seemed like just a random item retrieval mission.
You know what she would do? She'd lead Finn on. That's what she would do.
We'll get into, I guess, his character a little bit later, or him. I don't know.
Come on, Justin.
Keep it going.
Keeping it going.
You got it, Justin.
We see Rey training with Leia. She has a lightsaber now. The last thing we saw, though, was that it's Anakin's lightsaber that gets destroyed in the Last Jedi, right?
Yeah.
So he has a new lightsaber now. Now, this part
pissed me off. Wait, is that what you're gonna say?
No. This one is where I think I just have to get a little bit more clear with the source material. Is that lightsaber that Rey has? Wait, how is it? That's Luke's lightsaber, something like that.
Yeah, I believe that is Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber.
So so the one that he had when he fought Vader in Episode 5.
Yeah,
is that where we're going? So that lightsaber was attached to a hand, which Vader severed, and then fell into the cloud abyss.
And then the little beady-eyed alien found it somehow during Episode 7.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's what I'm not remembering. Is that okay? She did find it again, and now she's training with it. Also, the idea that Leia is now teaching someone how to be a Jedi. We've never seen Leia use the Force up until the last movie. All right, so if you were
she prevented the vacuum of space from sucking out her body. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so if you're, like I said, if you're just someone who just likes to watch the movies, you might be a little bit confused about how she is now training the next Jedi, and they don't do a good job of it because, like I said, they're just trying to wrap up as best I think they can, and they give us a 30-second flashback of Leia beating Luke during her Jedi training.
What? Good point. Where did that? That's not whatever.
But yeah. This whole Sith Wayfinder thing, that just not even trying to get into a graduate level on Star Wars stuff. Obviously, the Sith are a species I think they get wiped out though. But
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Palpatine ends up on a world or whatever, surrounded by, I guess, Sith. And then Palpatine also, how long? He's just been rebuilding a fleet for 30 something. Who's staffing these ships?
I don't know who's building these things.
Who is building them?
Where they getting the technology from? Resources? I don't know what's going on here.
Yo, when they were in that
no
arena,
one else notice it.
Yeah, just singing in that arena. No one had a face. There was no personality. And I was thinking, how are they feeding all these people? Huh? There's no animals on this planet. There's no trees. There's no grass. They don't have any Chick-fil-A's. Like, you can't have an arena that big and no one's eating. No one's drinking a Bud Light.
They just eating the Force,
They eating the Force. No, there ain't nobody eating
They eating the rocks. The Force. They live off the Force.
Everybody had to walk, like all those people in the choir, the biggest choir in the world, had to walk under that huge thing and then go float down underneath the whatever. This isn't my rant. This is Justin's moment. Justin, get after him.
Let me also check what I had for notes. I talked about Luke's old lightsaber. Next thing I had was when they were going to that whatever the next planet they. All right, prior to that, Palpatine sent out this thing that said, an attack is going to happen on all the civilized planets in 16 hours. Now, put that into perspective, where all of the events in this movie allegedly happened within 16 hours because all those Armada ships did not leave. So that makes, and I hesitate to add realism to high fantasy, but 16 hours to do all the stuff we just saw, it can't happen. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But they go to this planet. I think it's a nitpicking thing when they are like, there's a celebration going on every 42 years. And they're just surprised that, people are celebrating. And my thoughts are, well, you just flew down from space. I know you all saw this gigantic celebration in a pit. So why are you all so surprised that people are celebrating?
Wait, hold on. I got a note. Sometime before that, they were in a meeting in Kylo Ren's little office area in the conference room. And one of them was saying, we need the Emperor's forces to become a true empire. But isn't the First Order already empire when they had the power to destroy 7 planets at once?
There's that. And then, obviously, I imagine this is the Empire remnant. Why isn't the Emperor just immediately taking control over, the remnant? You let them squabble for 30-something years when you were like, no, I'm still... Because he can say, I'm still alive. They didn't kill me.
That's how I know that they just threw him in at the last minute. Like you said, this was just this trilogy was just a relay race. They're passing the baton to the next director.
Yeah. I know they didn't have any overarching ideas. This could have been, I think, a Star Wars story, not necessarily a continuation. But I digress. The way that those kids were laughing at that puppet show, I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh man, we found it funny because they were so ugly, right?
Those kids were so ugly.
All right, thank you, AC.
Nasty.
All right, AC, Nathan.
Yo, I there's something I noticed early in the movie. Remember when Rey, she first tells Leia, she's like, I have to go to Exegol. And it's just overly dramatic. That's the only complaint I had about the movie, was this overly dramatic. So she's like, I have to go to Exegol so I can find the Wayfinder, so I can find the Sith, so I can find my father, bullcrap, right? And then Leia, she says, no. Like, that was one point when I just threw up my hands. I was like, then what? Then what do we do, huh? What do we do? No? Oh, no? Right? Okay. It's like, what did Leia expect? Huh? She expected them to just sit on the planet and not go to Exegol and not save the universe, even though they're going to get blown up in 16 hours. What did she really want? What did Leia really want? It was stupid.
Yeah. I didn't like that. So they're on this planet.
No,
right?
Don't go. Okay.
Guys, these
ugly babies.
Finn, Rey, Poe, Lando, all of these people are incredibly trained marksmen. I don't think they missed a single shot this entire movie.
They did.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah, I did notice that. It was getting a little too much when they were on the ship saving Chewbacca. They were just knocking him down one shot each time. And I was like, okay, guys, you need
full
to film me. yeah. Maybe they slow down a little bit. They're killing them, too many of them. It'd be okay if it was only like 5, but they kill dozens of them.
Wait, was that like a minus point for y'all? Because that was a plus for me. I was like, yo, this is awesome. Look at this action scene. They're finally actually hitting their targets.
There's no. I didn't feel a sense of danger.
Yeah,
they're still shooting door switches and collapsing doors. How? How is that even possible? I understood it in the earlier movies. I get it. All right, because this technology of automatic doors was new, but now, no, it doesn't make any sense. You shoot your light switch, do your lights turn on and off? It doesn't make any sense, does it? It's not how it works.
You would think it will make the doors open as like a
security
thing in case there's a fire. You want to get out of there.
I know, right? Not close. So yeah, a lot of that going on.
Nathan, I didn't feel like Justin said, there was no weight, and they're just knocking them off like they're nothing. And these are supposed to be trained soldiers that were trained from children, when they were children.
Trained from children and wearing body armor.
Yeah, they're shooting the air.
Is it even worth it now? Oh, good.
What did y'all think about that scene? See, overly dramatic. He's Kylo Ren. He gets all fired up, right? He gets all hype, and then he goes and puts his helmet back together, and you think his helmet's about to look so cool, and then he comes out there, and it just looks like he walks in the room, and he's like, I sense that you are roasting me in your head, like basically. Like, yeah, we all are. Kylo, you look dumb. Like, get a new helmet, dude.
I did write that down. Him taking the time to splice helmet pieces together. How did he even find all the shards, right? And then instead of building a new helmet. Side note from that, he's always touching that Vader mask thing. Something that I thought would have been kind of funny is like, just imagine like Vader like sneezing and always coughing into that mask. And he just constantly touching
He
it.
was.
And
Darth
just
Vader
trying
was
to-
like the most asthmatic person in the galaxy.
Like there's still breath residue in there, and he's always just, touching it and closing his eyes.
Probably wears it when no one's looking.
I just thought that was kind of funny. But talked about them never missing a shot. They force linked, I think, way too much. You obviously know you're on a mission. Hit ignore on this guy's call when he's trying to force link you. All right, don't show him what you're doing, because obviously you're trying to stop all of them.
All right, you're talking about the force link. Let's talk about force teleportation, because that's what it is.
Yes, that too.
So when they were talking, I was like, okay, they were doing this thing where she looks like she's on his ship. He looks like he's down there with her, and then I see him grab her necklace.
That was so cool.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
That was
I was like, oh, okay, that's crazy. But then I realized that the necklace was actually gone, and I was like, now wait a minute. That's not how the force works.
Oh, come on,
Nathan. If you can do that, why can't you?
Gangster.
But the rules takes you out of it, because if you have the power to actually teleport objects, why not? Why aren't you doing that all the time? Why don't you just physically teleport yourself to that location?
And why weren't other Jedi that were stronger than Kylo doing that in the past? Again, bringing in new stuff that just kind of deletes the past.
They weren't stronger than Kylo.
Okay. What I thought was funny about that was, you think at this time in the future that chain snatching isn't a real thing anymore, and people still out here snatching chains across the universe.
Light years.
But just going back into that response time, he takes the necklace and you're like, all right, they're on this planet. We'll be there in 5.
He snatched it to a scientist. They scanned it in a second.
Right. Right. Oh, Justin, you took that course, right? We were just talking about that. Cultural history, geography, right? Someone saw that and they were like, oh yeah, I know where this is from. There's infinite planets and suns and galaxies, but I know exactly where they are.
That's just down the block. We're on the way.
Imagine they like snatch like a Yankee cap from someone's head. Like, oh yeah, New York City, Earth. Let's go. Snatch an AK-47. Yep, Houston, Texas. Let's go.
So yeah, it looked cool, Nathan. I thought it was cool if it was just in the little mental thing, but the fact that he physically ripped off her necklace light years away, that really took me out. Actually, the rest of the movie, I was done after that.
No,
that was it for me.
And then like when we see them have like a telepathic fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are the risks real? If he cuts her with his lightsaber millions of miles away, is she actually going to be hurt?
I guess so. Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense to their surroundings, right?
Yeah, I'm just imagining her when she's sneaking aboard the ship and, just destroying things with her lightsaber, having an imaginary fight. No one came and investigated, like, what's going on in there? Kylo's on the ground. I'll hit that how they even got up there a little bit later too. But this force healing thing, I imagine we'd see something like that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously taking life force to heal something.
Yeah.
Once again, Rey can do any and everything.
So I want to talk to you about that. Is that the famous power that Darth Plagueis was talking about, or is that something different?
I think it's something different. I read the Darth Plagueis book. I think it had mostly to do with like he had metachlorians, which I think were like regenerating tissue or whatever. So we would never like get old.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't too shocked.
Are very high with this one.
I wasn't too shocked by the force healing, because I've seen that before in video games and whatnot. I've just never seen flat out teleportation. All right, that's all.
You had that anti-aging Darth Plagueis?
I think so.
Yeah.
You had that Kris Jenner?
Kim
Kardashian? Y'all think Kim Kardashian is going to look the same when she's 70? Or will the plastic like wear off?
That's off topic. The same when
no, it's kind of like
I don't know.
You just got to keep doing it. Like if she stops, you're like, I'm done. Then yeah, that skin's going to hit the ground. But like if she continues to inject, power up, she's going to be fine.
You know how like when they sit like a McDonald's burger outside and it never decays?
Never decays.
That might be what Kim Kardashian would be like in 50 years. Who knows? That's what I'm really looking forward to, getting old and seeing what plastic surgery looks like when it's old. What were we talking about? Oh, yo, that desert chase scene. Okay, after the little Coachella, please tell me y'all enjoyed it just even a little bit. Even when the stormtroopers started flying and they were shooting them out of the sky, and he threw that chain underneath the little. That was a pretty cool looking motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You guys agree, but they never missed a single shot. Rey they did the bike flipped up in the air and Rey unloaded a clip into it.
That was so cool.
Didn't miss a single shot.
That was sick. She's a Jedi. She shouldn't miss a shot. Finn, biggest unhelpful Negro. Yeah, I could see why he would miss shots, but
he didn't.
Even
he didn't.
He's been.
I didn't enjoy the scene. I'm sorry.
What
about these characters?
What would have been nice is if in that quicksand part, if someone had actually just died in that scene, right? Because then people were like, "Oh wow, okay, now we're only like 30 minutes in the movie, and someone just like a major player just died." That would have boosted some things up. I'm not saying that main characters dying in movies and TV shows like just automatically makes it good, but if they're like willing to say like, okay, we're in a serious situation now, all right, sit up, But the whole thing about Chewie, they like made you think he was dead, and that for like what 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of a 2-hour movie, you're like, okay, wow, that guy's dead now, And then a couple of minutes later, you're like, oh wow, Chewie, take him to the take him to the interrogation room, which he didn't flinch about. I don't care how long you've been alive and how many, CIA black sites you've been in. When someone says take him to interrogation room 5, you need to at least blink. He didn't even make a.
Hey, this man's like 230 years old, right?
I don't care.
He's been around the block, all right? They ain't gonna do nothing.
There was that, and then I like how they took him without a fight. He didn't even try and warn his friends.
I didn't notice how that's in my notes too. How did they not? Because they're ship on top of a hill. So how did they not see the transport ship right behind them? How Chewie just casually got grabbed within 5 seconds of going to check on somebody. I didn't like Flynn ordering Chewie around either. He said, "Hey, Chewie, go get Rey." I was like, I don't know, Flynn, you're kind of low on this, leadership role right now.
But there was that, and Chewbacca's only, vocal capabilities are like a yell. Didn't make a single sound.
Nice.
What else about that? Uh, Once again, Rey, very, very powerful, was pulling the ship with the Force, when they're boosting away, just holding it there. Kylo, I guess, was trying to also shove the ship in the opposite direction.
I think he was just toying with her.
Okay, and then she was like, screw it, Force lightning time. And that zaps the ship and, makes it crash and burn. Mm-hmm. Now, I saw this movie with my roommate, and I'm pretty sure he saw a spoiler review prior to going into the movie because I don't think he's seen too many Star Wars movies. He was like, oh, she's Palpatine's granddaughter. Ooh. And I remember scoffing and being like, oh, you don't know anything about the Force, obviously. Force lightning is not hereditary. Count Dooku knows Force lightning, and he is not related to Palpatine. Mm-hmm. I'm like, she just accessed a very, very powerful Force power. Me all smug for 10 minutes, only to find out that she is a Palpatine.
Somehow that means she's just extremely powerful.
That she can use Force lightning, a move which, like I said, is not hereditary.
Darth Vader never used Force lightning, right? And that's because it would mess up his little
he was body. He couldn't be capable of it because of his suit.
All right,
guys, her granddad is Emperor Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Was she about 20? She's 20 years old.
So we don't know.
So I know some 20-year-olds whose grandparents are like 60, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Emperor Palpatine.
He's over.
Is about
over 100.
The man old, and he's been dead.
He is so old. The man's older than Morgan Freeman. The only being.
Let's take this a little bit further. All right. Now
he was already old.
He was old when he got first introduced.
Yeah. From the get-go. Huh. Okay. Oh, wait a minute.
So, think of that. Say it's been 30 years. Rey looks like she's only in her 20s. So that means she was born over this 30-year gap. So that means Palpatine had a son while he was leading the Empire?
But now, if you had only just seen the movies, you never see this man talking to a wife, never mentioning kids, and certainly not mentioning, grandkids.
You never see him outside the space station.
Why would you, instead of grooming my children for, of Emperor, even though he literally just plans to be Emperor Immortal forever, why am I now going to skip possibly a generation and go right for my granddaughter? How does
you see how average his kids looked? Did you see how average his kid? Like his son looked like he worked at Costco. Like he was just a normal looking. How his dad is Palpatine. He looks like a Brad, and he's just living on this random planet. And his dad is 400-year-old Sith Lord. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's pretty intimidating.
I like to imagine that. Oh, go ahead.
So he didn't try to train his son, but rather prophesize about his granddaughter.
Yeah,
I like even though they're not going to think of this, but I just imagine Palpatine like after a hard day's work, torturing people and destroying planets. He has a very nice home life. He likes to keep work and home separate. Like, you know what? I'm gonna let my son decide. Whether he wants to get into the family business. So his dad or his son is just super surprised. And he's like, "Dad, I didn't know you were evil." But that's my way of rationalizing something that, of course, makes no sense.
One more thing about that: them pulling the fighter back and forth. Flynn went out there and he just stood there and looked. I was thinking, hey, how about you shoot Kylo right quick? I know Kylo would have just caught the thing in midair, but that would have distracted him long enough for Rey to do what she was trying to do. But Flynn just stood there and looked. So
he did a lot of standing and just yelling, which was very distracting to me as a watcher.
Yeah.
And to Rey, who was actually trying to do something in the movie.
Dude, when she was on that ship fighting Kylo and he just ran up, that's all he did. That made me so mad.
Ray!
That was
that's all he. Oof.
Because he didn't want to get cut. Right? He's trying to split them up, but he didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, he saw what was happening. He said, "Man, the force is strong between you two.
So,
break up."
I want to backtrack a little bit when they were in the quicksand thing, and he says, "Rey, there's something I want to tell you before we think we're gonna die." And then Poe brings up what we're gonna tell Rey, and we never find out. We never find out at the end of the movie. So,
that's true. Huh?
They didn't even close that loop, which they themselves brought into this movie. We didn't need that.
JJ said the next director would take care of it for me.
Oh yeah, they really could have just made that happen, but no, they tried to do a little Romeo and Juliet at the end there.
Yeah,
which didn't make any sense. I was kind of hoping that she was going to bring him back, he was going to bring her back. She was going, but they just going to keep going. Yeah, right. But no. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed about his efforts. And Poe was the other pilot, right?
Yeah.
The man kept giving up mid movie. He just kept giving up every point he could. He said, "Guys, we've lost. I'm sorry." I'm like, "Yo, people are still actively shooting right now. Like, like it's not over yet. He's not getting any action right now, but hundreds of people are." And he just said, "Yeah, it's over, guys. We've lost." So I didn't like that he was he's just giving up like that. He's supposed to be a general now. And I thought there were maybe other people that were more suited to be generals.
This is also a nitpicking thing, but at least in the original trilogy, I think they got it right. The generals control stuff on the ground, and the admirals control the stuff in space. Having generals directing space battles, which I did not like, because they fix it or they don't let that happen in the old movie, which these things are supposed to be an ode to, and they couldn't get that right.
What bugged me about that fight scene is they're these genius generals, right? And they pull these horses up into like the upper atmosphere, and that was supposed to be like the winning thing. And I was thinking afterwards, I was like, yo, you can't have horses just on a spaceship. You can't do that. But then I realized, Nathan, you're stupid, because the horses they weren't horses. They were aliens, and this is a fiction movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the hard thing. It's like I wanted to get mad, like you can't do that, but it's a fiction.
You can't run and have perfect breathing patterns that high in altitude. No matter
what planet they land on, they just have perfect breathing air.
That wasn't even their native planet. They brought it from another planet.
Oh yeah! Wow! Yeah.
Once again, no grass for the horses. What do they eat on Palpatine's planet, on Exegol? What do they eat?
Where's he getting the raw materials to build that many Star Destroyers?
Yeah. That can blow up planets. So is it just, can everybody blow up a planet? Is it just out there like on Google? You can Google and make this at your own or something?
There's that, and who is staffing them? Who is...
Yeah, we only saw that one ship. We don't know who was on the other one. But let's fast forward in the story. So CP3, what's the name? Oof. C3PO has the Sith language, but he can't say it out loud, so they're going to some other planet just to have him speak it. That's another thing. They're jumping between planets a lot. I guess JJ trying to make up for the fact that we only saw a ship and 2 planets last movie.
Yeah, so still within 16 hours.
Yeah. Where am I?
I do. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm going through my notes.
Oh, I had a couple notes about that. All right. So they're making a big deal. C3PO's like, oh no, my memory is going to get wiped. I'm like, well, first of all, you are a droid, so this is going to happen. And it did happen, because
he gets memory wiped before. Mm-hmm.
Or prior to episode 4, because obviously he would have remembered Obi-Wan, but he doesn't. So this is not a big deal. Now, they're also going to this droid workshop, and, you're saying that there's no way, hey, before we erase your memory, you have like a USB drive around here somewhere, we just back you up real quick. And then just we'll just fix you after we get that translation.
That's why I know R2D2 is an asshole, because I remember when they talked about that. Senator Alingala, whatever his name is, in episode 3, they said have the service droid's memory wiped, and then CP3 said, "Oh no," and then R2D2 just laughed. I don't know if I'm in that scene in episode 3, but he was just laughing. So R2 saw him in episode the site and chose not to give this man his memory. Apparently, he just walks around with CP3's memories in his log. R2's a real asshole. That's probably why it took him out of this trilogy.
But I think one side note, I think that it's crazy that they've been in every single Star Wars movie. or in this 1 through 9.
Yeah, they're the main character, Justin. All right.
Wait, R2 and C-3PO?
Yeah, they're in every episode.
I don't remember R2. I thought it was just BB-8 in this one.
Yeah, what?
R2 was in there a little bit. He stayed at home with Leia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he was on the ship for a little bit too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On Poe's ship.
Yeah.
Oh,
speaking of ships, real quick, that the spy that what do you think shooting in someone in the leg does, but makes you look like more of a guilty party? It's like I mean, they got away. Not before they shot me in my leg. I had to crawl to get help.
Especially after every other person they killed was one shot in the chest.
In the chest. Again, another situation of these people that are defecting or spies or people that are part of the resistance, not just hopping on the ship that they're relaying information to. You've given the information. Now get on that ship and go with them so you can stay alive. Why are you? He's like, I told this to Xavier. The guy in the beginning, he said, he basically gave him the log. He said, all right, live on, brother. And then like closed his hatch and left. And then he died like
his head on the table.
His head on the table.
His head on the table. Maybe you should, you're right. Maybe you should have came along with, since the TIE fighters right there, saw where they got the information from.
Yeah. What spy says that they're a spy, really? He said,
I'm the spy.
I'm the spy. That didn't even feel natural.
I had a funny note about that. I just a few hours ago is he says, I don't care if you all win. I just care that Kylo Ren loses. And I'm like, dude, after the war and the resistance wins, you're going to jail for war crimes. You blew up. You gave the order to blow up those 4 planets. It doesn't end well for you.
Darth Vader, Ben's Skywalker, they lucky they died after they beat themselves, right? They're going straight to jail forever.
Yeah, you're probably going to execution. So Ace, you have a very good point. Obviously, you probably should leave so you can still give useful information instead of who are you pretending for at that point? Because the jig was up as soon as the guy saw him. It's like, oh, they didn't kill you even though you're a general.
They killed everyone else. Another thing, he was bleeding from that.
Yeah, I didn't
blast
like that.
Shot. I didn't understand where that came from.
Thought these wounds cauterized instantly.
Yeah, it's a laser. Yeah, and you said you had something about how they got on the Star Destroyer in the first place.
Oh. Yes. All right. So they're on that workshop planet or whatever. You meet Poe's girlfriend or whatever from way back, and she has this captain's medallion thing. Never mentioned before in any kind of movie. But she's like, yeah, this can get you in any spaceport, anything else, blah, blah, blah. All right, so the First Order saw this ship leave the party planet in that exact same ship, right? And now, just because they put a medallion in, and they're like, this is the exact ship that just escaped from us. And now they're trying to board our ship. We're going to let them on? And the answer was yes. Yes, we are. And as soon as those ship doors came down, they immediately started shooting everyone.
Shot those guys. Those are just inventory guys. That's all.
I thought it was funny how 10 minutes after that, once they had raided the ship, that dude, he comes down and looks in the garage and he's like, yo, whose ship is this? Who the heck parked their ship here?
But I did not like how just because you have this captain's medallion, it's a get into jail free card. No questions asked. Come on aboard.
Honestly, if they had just parked in the right parking spot, no one would have said anything. The only reason they came over there is look. They said no. They know they're not supposed to park over there. He said hello. This is shipping, not receiving. Please, to the other end.
Yeah, it's Kylo Ren's parking spot.
Yeah. Oh! I made a big note about this. Why was this man's room so white? All right, he's supposed to be an evil man, and his room is immaculate. Everything in there was pearl white, except for Vader's mask.
Dusty old mask.
I don't even think that's his room. Actually, it's just where he goes to like
study.
He stands there and rubs the mask. Yeah, that's honestly, those destroyers are just too big to like. If you were to really get on one of those destroyers and try to find anything, you wouldn't be able to. And this guy, that's why he has a room just to look at Vader's mask. He has a room just to have board meetings. Well, I guess that's normal. Man, being an engineer, you know how many conference rooms we have? Dude, we have a conference for every person.
Yeah, we have a lot of conference rooms on our place. One thing I want to talk about.
See, I just took the topic back to relevancy.
Yeah, when he's talking to Rey on one of their Force talks, he's like, I'm not going to bring you to Palpatine. I'm going to betray him. And I was thinking, I feel like Palpatine is strong enough to hear you say that. Because 5 minutes later, he's talking to Palpatine in his head. He says, hey, where's Rey? He says, I'm working on it. All right, you better hurry up. I was like, well, maybe he was in your head the whole time hearing you about to stab his man in the back.
Yeah, what else is Palpatine doing? He's probably just sitting there
he can't
watching
do anything else
day.
except he can't be doing anything besides monitoring their situation. So this man trying to stab him in the back.
They're hanging from a coat hanger from the ceiling on his planet.
At the moment, right? Palpatine has the strongest fleet. Why doesn't he just come back and do it himself? You know, you don't need the First Order. You don't need them.
All right, jumping. So they have Chewbacca, and they go to some planet near where the Death Star was destroyed in Episode 6. There were large pieces of the Death Star.
Yes,
that it was really large pieces. Even though in the movie the Death Star turned to atoms,
vaporized.
They were really, really large pieces. We saw clones' uniforms and everything scattered around.
There were ships still intact. Yeah, inside it,
as if this thing didn't turn to ashes. I didn't like that. Oh, another thing goes with you, Ace. What you were saying, Asian, Poe giving up. You like, yeah, we can't. Look at that wave. We can't get over that wave. We'll try in the morning. And then Poe said, "All right, we'll try in the morning. Let's go fix this ship." And then I'm like, "You got 8 hours. All right, you can't wait until the morning, Poe. We need to hurry up." Man. Got on the ship and did it, and then Finn got on the ship and did it no problem. So I was like, well, maybe the water wasn't a problem. Poe was out here about to let the galaxy get blown up because he
about to take a nap.
Yeah,
he said, "All right, we're gonna do it."
So yeah, we'll try in the morning.
Y'all noticed that black girl's hair was perfect. They went and sailed through that water all the way, climbed up the ship. Her hair was perfect the whole time.
Yeah,
I noticed she was
probably picked it out when she got off the ship.
She was kind of beautiful, though.
Right, slow down, they focus.
One note about the Falcon. Before they leave Kylo Ren's ship, is he says, when they're rescuing Rey, he's like, hold it in place, and then he revs up the engine and the exhaust knocks everyone back, except of course Rey and Kylo. So we see that the ship can be held in place. Why then did he go for a crash landing? Putting the ship in the dirt when he could have probably just hovered and set it down.
Or this is before vertical takeoff.
Or just hovered the ship over part of the Death Star and then have Rey just like hop down and do whatever she had to do.
That's how they got off the planet.
Yeah,
he just flew the Millennium Falcon up.
So I'm a little questionable about him spiking it into the dirt. Maybe he's not such a great pilot
because he saw Pocahontas on that goat horse. Said what? And crashed the. Okay,
might be nitpicking here, but that secret chamber Rey went into next to Palpatine's throne. His throne was right on the edge of the Death Star, and that was a big room inside there. So I don't see how room was on that side of the Death Star.
And that was another thing. I think like his throne room was in like a spire, was on top of like a tower.
Yeah. And
now all of a sudden it's very, very internal inside the Death Star. Obviously the Rey versus evil Rey thing I think is a callback to Luke fighting Dark Luke in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
So now she has to go through that herself. Let's see, was that all I had for that area?
Yeah, that's all I had.
I was waiting for an explanation on what that evil Rey was.
Nothing. Just classic Jedis battling with the dark side within themselves.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of Star Wars, making you remember this in Star Wars? Wasn't that cool?
Oh, and like they were just the way they're moving through the plot annoyed me. How it's just a bunch of coincidences. I know that people they're just gonna write it off. It's like the Force was guiding them, but how they got sucked into the sand thing and then immediately found the dagger. Like what were the chances of that? And then when they got to the planet, and then she said, "Oh," and then she opened up the dagger, and they were standing in the perfect position for the line of the dagger. All that was them just moving through the plot through coincidences, and I didn't like that.
Yeah, how she know that little piece opens up?
Yeah,
after not even trying it.
She finally grew her fingernail back after she was able to get in there. You know.
I may just be confused about the sequence, but was the dagger just designed after the Death Star just crashed? So that way some guy is like, you know what? I need to create a very elaborate dagger, which is going to then tell somebody else how to find the Sith planet.
Well, I felt like once he got there what I understand the Sith planet, but why did he need make an elaborate dagger to find the exact location? If you've been to just remember, it's in Palpatine's throne room. That's it. Why did he have to? I don't know what he made that for. Going back to how he died. This man's supposed to be Palpatine's like elite, Jedi hunter assassin, and he died from falling down a hole that he parked next to. So, yeah.
This is way back. I think my favorite character in the movie was Lando, only because of his laugh. It was like a pained laugh every time. That was my favorite part of the movie. Whenever he showed up and did a laugh. Moving on a little bit more.
No, wait. Because Lando was my least favorite part of the whole movie.
I mean, I had no idea what he was doing.
Sounds like
Billy
Justin
D
likes it ironically.
Y'all notice every time he entered a scene, it was just so cheesy. I feel like he talked them into. He said, "Y'all ain't releasing this doggone movie without me. I'm gonna be in this movie and I'm gonna write my parts." Yeah, and he did the old black player walk away. But every time, like his lines were so cheesy. It was like he was James Brown. Every time he came in, it was like freaking James Brown.
I think that's telling us that he's still a sketchy person because he's hopping around all safe like. All right. There were many situations where it should have been like, okay, why is he on this planet?
Yeah, why is he here?
Why is he at Coachella right now, receiving fake transmissions from people? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't know. He seemed to appear when he wanted to appear, and he wasn't there when you're like, we could really use some help right this second,
Mm-hmm. That last scene when he's with the black girl, he's like, "Where are you from?"
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
What are you implying?
Yeah,
only bad things.
That did not deserve to be in the final moments.
Yeah, the final. I don't know who edited that in, or didn't take that out. He was lazy. Because you feel it right when you see it. Like, well, that felt off. That was almost like the last until they did the thing with Ray going back to Tatooine. That was almost the last thing of the movie because they moving the camera up. I was like, oh no, is that the last line in the movie? But luckily there was a little bit of conversation with Tatooine that saved it. But yeah, but Lando nasty. All right.
I thought he was about to say something stupid like, he said, Claire, yeah. I'm your father. He said, what? I said, yeah, I'm your father. But no, he took it to a more player vibe. Clearly, he's trying to.
He was a player the whole time, wasn't he? He was in there like flirting with Leia and stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, you tell Leia I said hello. How fast is your ship? Fast enough. How'd you get here? I found my way, just like the old times. Okay, I'm done.
Going back to the Death Star wreckage. Now, Ray, and Kylo are fighting in the water. Anything?
Not really climactic. Rey, of course, goes for the kill shot, kills him. I guess Leia gave herself to the Force so that way Kylo could live. But I don't know. It's never. I don't think it's really.
Yeah, I don't know what happened right there.
Another part that I found kind of funny is when Kylo becomes Ben again and Harrison Ford shows up, because I got kind of upset because I was like, "There's no way you just gave Harrison Ford a Force ghost. Now everybody has a Force ghost."
Yeah, I think it was just a memory Kyle's playing in his head, but this time instead of killing him, he used to do a lightsaber.
Okay, so I was like, he says, "No, you're just a memory."
Okay,
yeah. Like, well, then this memory shouldn't be telling you, that your mother passed. It should be doing some other things. But that makes a little more sense when you say it like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like how he threw the lightsaber, just changed the crystal out. Right?
Yeah. Or it doesn't matter. You can still use it because this man jumping towards the end when he's running around with a blaster, getting his ass kicked by Knights of Ren. I'm like, well, maybe you should have kept your lightsaber. All right.
He said, "Yeah, I wrote something down about that." He was like, the good Force is not so good after all." Yeah, he was questioning about going back there. He said, "It don't feel right." He said, I feel a little off today. I can't get my hits in there,
Try to use his fist.
Yeah.
So yeah, all while Finn was watching the fight, crying. And then Rey leaves.
Screaming.
She goes to Luke's little blue milk planet.
Burns the ship.
Yeah, burns the ship.
Luke comes back as a Force ghost, and that really made me question, where were you all when you are intangible Force ghosts who can still use the Force and touch things? Why were you not fighting? Not
only touch things, Justin. Yoda out here bringing lightning down from the sky like Thor, all right?
You're telling me after all those Jedi got killed, they didn't just come back as ghosts and jump Vader and Palpatine,
just kicking them. I did like when Luke came with the lightsaber. He said, "Jedi shit." What did he say? I did not write it down. He said something about Jedi are supposed to respect this weapon. So that was JJ telling.
He threw it in the last movie.
Yeah, he threw it. So. Thought that was I thought it was nice, but then plot wise, I was like, I don't know, because not a year ago you threw it behind your shoulder, Luke.
I didn't like how they gave screen time to those Porfins, whatever.
I think they only did that just to let you know that she's back on Luke's island.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed that she was on the island unless they put those little penguin furry things.
So I think it's a marketing ploy. So now it's like, oh, now you can get the Last Jedi one or the Rise of Skywalker one.
Bro, man, these folks' families got to eat, Justin. Why you mad, bro? Bro, let them make these baby Yodas, okay? Let them make these little puffy penguins, dude. Because you know, if this was 5 years ago, you'd have it in your room. I know that. Because I've been to your room. Okay, I'm your roommate, man. You probably already...
Yeah. You probably just mad. That roommate part so people wouldn't be asking questions.
Yo.
Yo, I've been in your room every night.
Saw where you sleep.
Oh.
Yeah. This is, like I said, how am I analyzing this as, a moviegoer fan? And as both, I do not like it.
I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to. Earlier in the episode, I was supporting you and expressing your feelings. And now it's just, I'm just lashing out at you.
Because you enjoy the movie. And I expected. All right. Yeah, I said it.
All right. So now she's going to Palpatine's planet, telling everybody which way to go. We had a sad scene when Chewbacca found out Leia died. He's crying a little bit.
Yeah, that was a little sad. You couldn't even stand
the last one.
Yeah.
What else about that? You already talked about Leia's training flashback.
Mm-hmm.
I like how Rey was putting on a nasty helmet whenever she flew the X-Wing, even though it was underwater for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that plane shouldn't fly. That made me mad. I was like, yo, okay, really? A ghost pull the X fighter out the water, and she's gonna fly it right now.
It's ready to go. Yep.
Out of space.
Luke looks like the crazy type of guy to like pull a ship out of the water and thinks that it still would work 30 years later.
Yeah, just take my old Chevy out back. That truck in the back that has like bees in it and stuff. Yeah, it still works. It still works. Crank it
up. I did not like. I think it was Poe or Finn is like, good people are out there. They'll come if we call to fight the First Order. And my thing is like, well, why in the world did you have to rely on the Resistance to do anything if you all could just form a mob and beat them?
I was thinking that too. There was a lot of people there, and I was thinking, well,
heck of a lot of people.
Why weren't y'all doing this from the beginning? Then, if you already outnumbered the First Order, if they're not even an empire, apparently.
That's crazy. Yeah, if they had done that, like, I don't know, 30 years ago, that would have been great.
What else? They talked about they couldn't use shields in the atmosphere. No mention of why or why not. The general was like, all right, shoot them down with ion cannons, and ion cannons just disable ships, and I guess they're expecting gravity to do the rest and kill them instead of just blowing them up outright. They made Finn a general.
Just knew that it was a PG-13 movie, and he had only so many kills that he could do. Huh? You ever think about that? No, you don't think about that.
Well,
you only
you
think
say
about
that,
yourself,
you
Justin.
think about,
you only think about yourself and your room and your baby.
Think about episode 3 is PG-13. Anakin out here killing little kids. All right, and you got that guy running down the street saying, "Come on!" Turned around, and said, "What y'all doing?"
Shot him in the back.
That's my favorite scene. Star Wars.
and again, in these situations, you're like, okay, so where are the previous generation of Jedi when they're watching like little Padawans get murked? Okay, where are they? All right, because Yoda, Luke, these people that are coming back that you see holograms of aren't the first Jedi ever. There are thousands, right? They're like 1,000 generation of Jedi.
We heard Mace Windu's voice at one point. And Qui-Gon Jinn too.
Yeah,
and I heard Ahsoka too. But I'll get to that. Let's save that when we get to that part. All right.
Okay.
This whole thing about them taking out the satellite and how the second they go down there, the guy just says, "All right, let's just bring it up to the ship." And then they come to the ship. I'm like, "All right, take it back down to the satellite." or just copy it to all your ships. It's just data.
Or just send the ships up. Right? They said the ships are only going to be stagnant for a minute. If they see they're going after the first thing, just be like, okay, they plan to do that. Everybody, we're going up. All right.
Yeah. How did that planet have enough gas to power all those destroyers?
I don't know where they get.
I stuttered so much, but they didn't have food for the people who were working on the destroyers. They didn't have gas to power the destroyers. This planet has no natural resources. And
who's on them?
Yeah, we still don't know anyone on any of the ships besides the main one. Don't know who's piloting
the
them.
choir members were.
And who are they? Are they all? I think they're all just clones of Palpatine. We didn't see them on their faces. They can't be Sith because there are no more Sith.
That was another thing I thought, which was kind of funny. Is what if Palpatine, he did die in the Death Star, and he just had clones, but they just cloned him old.
Yeah, that's why you clone. Because why are you in this weak body? If it was a clone, he could have actually, like you said, Justin, just come back and say, "Hey guys, I'm still alive. Put my empire back together." I thought they were just all a bunch of Snokes. This is a bunch of Snoke bodies, out there singing.
They cloned him with the scar on his head.
Yeah.
All right. Talk about Palpatine old.
Yeah.
Someone just flip a paper.
Yeah. That's just a note. I'm on the back of my paper.
I have notes, right? I have pages of notes.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I did mine on my phone. I was just crazy.
I think Palpatine, since we finally get a little bit more of him, he was just like a catchphrase machine where he's like, now the ritual shall begin. And
he did say do it, all right?
He did say that. Yeah. And then when Ben shows up, he's like, now the 2 will help restore the 1.
He had like a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E.
plans except for doing anything successfully. It was like, you know what, I'm gonna fail at this. Let me make up a contingency.
Because his original plan was to just talk trash to Rey until she kills him. I'm like, yo, this man waited for decades just to talk trash.
They
he closed his eyes.
Because he's been waiting a long time, Asian. All right, the lighter up.
Gets very mad, and you will strike me down. That's your plan. Come on, you skinny little girl. You will be single forever. Just like what was he thinking to say to her to make her so mad? That's why women will never be.
That was another thing. Are they introducing like Force avatars? He's like, if you strike me down, my spirit will.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk to you about, Justin. So is that the reason why we never see a Sith ghost guy? And this is why Sith are okay with them a princess stabbing in the back, because when that happens, they can just Avatar Last Airbender style, go on through their apprentice.
I don't think so, because at least in the Legend saga, like you're saying, the Sith were at one point extinct, or they were like an actual like race of people who just like all they did was use the dark side, and then eventually they go extinct because Darth Bane he like eradicates them, and he starts the rule of two, which is a master and apprentice, and eventually the apprentice is going to kill the master, and then he's going to find a new apprentice, something like that. But now they're introducing this thing where Palpatine, a human, is somehow going to absorb all the spirits of the Sith into one Sith. And then if you do have an Avatar Sith, why then are you worrying about finding an apprentice? Especially if you're going to be just immortal. And then apparently also there's Jedi Avatar as well, because all of them can come back. She's like, I am all of the Jedi. After they all talk to her. There was a lot going on. Yeah. Palpatine going for the ironic kill with Ben is like, I'm gonna throw you down. Throw you down.
So angry at Darth Vader. All right, he's dead. All right.
And then moving on to his Force lightning.
My favorite part.
Uses that to. It was cool. It looked cool, but apparently it just disables all of the ships, because as soon as he takes his mind off of it, they just start flying again. None of them crash into the ground, and he didn't use it like Rey did to literally fry them.
Yeah,
just like, I'm just going to disable them.
When he first did it, I panicked a little bit because I thought he was going to fry them, like blow all of them up.
Yeah, I think it was cool because I thought it was cool. I mean, it was my favorite part because I thought it was cool. My favorite part was so stupid. But yeah, this man had the power to attack more than hundreds. So there were a lot of ships. All right. He was attacking them all at the same time with his bare hands. I'm like, why do you need an empire at all, Palpatine, huh?
And then he loses to a girl.
Ooh, okay, let's jump to that.
A weak, little ugly
oh wait, no,
girl.
Before he even sucked the thing out of Ben and Rey. These Knights of Ren, I thought they were supposed to be a bunch of badass, Force-sensitive warriors who Kylo Ren used to kill all of Luke's Jedi students. But they all went out like a bunch of bitches the second this man had a lightsaber.
I just like to think of them as like Mystery Incorporated, like Scooby-Doo and the gang. Like they're always just following.
Oh, okay.
Trying to solve things. They just track.
All got their outfits from Hot Topic. Okay, emo, My Chemical Romance, Star Wars.
None of them. They just fight with. They had axes when people have, blasters.
Yeah.
Not even, I guess, like lightsaber axes or anything.
Did any of them use any Force powers?
Didn't seem to use the Force.
Okay, because they're supposed to be Force sensitive. That's the whole point. They're supposed to be Force sensitive.
What does Force sensitive mean?
They can just use the Force.
They can use the Force.
What? Wait. Whoa. Okay. Call me stupid, but stupid. All right. So Jedi and Sith aren't the only people who can use Force.
Yeah,
I mean that's just like two schools of thought.
Yeah. You don't have to. Just because you can use the Force doesn't. Yeah, you choose to be either a Jedi or a Sith.
Yeah, those are just like the most popular ones. But there's like gray Jedi, which use a combination of both, or I don't even want to call them gray Jedi. People who use a little bit of both. Like Mace Windu is supposed to tour the line, because he's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, yeah, a little aggressive.
But yeah.
How about So those dudes in the red from the old movies, and they had those like lightning, they had those like electricity sword things.
Mm-hmm.
Are they like also force sensitive?
No, I don't think they were force sensitive. They were just his guards.
I just remember them being really hard to beat on Force Unleashed.
Oh yeah, the ones in black. Yeah, those were force sensitive. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those were early versions of Inquisitors. Yeah, those are force sensitive. You're right. I was thinking about that game the other day because I was thinking about Star Wars as a whole. But let's wrap up this movie first. Rey's deflecting the lightning back up, with one lightsaber, and then she gets another one, and somehow that makes her stronger to push it back. But this is the second time this happened to Palpatine. When's he going to learn? When you see someone shooting lightning back at you, just stop. All right? You got unlimited power, but you can stop. See them pushing it back and maybe try something else. He pushed so much lightning, this man turned to ashes. Why didn't he stop? Palpatine.
And this time he had no one there to stop him.
Yeah, no Anakin to cut off her hand. Oh, speaking of Anakin, when she was hearing the voices in her head, Anakin said, and I quote, let me get my paper, balance the Force, Rey, as I once did. I was like, well, Anakin, clearly you didn't, because this man's right here stronger than ever, about to kill her, right?
And we're thinking out here, in this imaginary Jedi God world where they're all sitting round table, you know, and everyone's sitting there, but like no one's questioning about how Anakin did some pretty crazy things. All right, like
I do picture that, like a Valhalla dinner. Everybody was eating, and everybody looking at him like, "Huh, I think he killed me, but I guess he's Anakin, not Darth Vader now."
Yeah, right. He's like this guy seeked enlightenment before he died, so I guess we're gonna allow it. Okay, we're gonna allow it, but he did kill a whole bunch of kids.
Yeah. Going on that, Justin. Well, me and Ace talking about this earlier. I think the reason why we see young Anakin now in Episode 6 is because Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader are actually two different people, kind of like soul wise. So when he came back to the light, that's why young Anakin shows up at the little party at the end, because it was before he turned to Darth Vader. Right? Is that what happens here?
I think most of us are used to seeing young Anakin because Lucas said. In the originals, he showed up as an old guy.
Oh, okay. So they just really let Darth Vader into Jedi heaven.
So I'm sure there were a lot of questions when he arrived.
He said, "Don't worry. I know what I did was wrong." That's all we're saying, man. As long as you admit what you did was wrong, you
win.
Yeah. The
he reaches for the bread at the table and someone smacks it out.
I think of Aunt May from Spider-Man 1 slapping Green Goblin's hand like that. He licks his lips like, "I'm gonna kill you later for that."
He's like walking down the long hallway, someone trips him.
Oh man,
he's getting bullied
out there.
Someone spits in his food before he eats it. Oh,
one of the biggest things I guess in the movie.
He's just eating normal food, and someone's like, "Yeah, how that taste? yeah, how it tastes, boy." He looks closely at his burger. He sees like hair in it. Man, I'm sorry. I could go all day. With this. He sits in his chair, and there's like, those little hand zappers. The pranks.
Yeah.
Someone hands them a pin. They say, "Yeah, just click this pin," and it zaps. Okay. I'm done.
Yes. Anakin gets bullied
in space heaven. Space Jedi goes to heaven. Anything else on his last fight, Justin?
Nothing. I don't really think with the fight. We talked about how Palpatine has no self-control. Another big thing that happened, which made the theater go wild. Rey and Kylo Ren kissed.
I threw my hands up.
No one reacted to my theater at all.
Okay. I do remember saying really, again, out loud as people were, going insane about it.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but whatever.
Just doesn't make any sense. I mean, good thing he died, or else it would not make any sense what just happened. Would she be protecting him from now on? In a sense, like, she's like speaking on his behalf at trial.
No,
like,
he's getting executed. Ace, and they blew up 7 planets at the same time, right? He's dying.
All right, well, you say that, but she just kissed him. All right,
but hey, it's not Kylo Ben. That's Ben Skywalker. All right. Ben. They did the Force teleportation again. Yeah. I forgot the lightsaber. I don't like.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me he's going to be on trial? And he said, you're on trial for killing a lot of people, sir. He said that was Kylo.
Oh no, they won't believe that. He's going to be dead. I'm talking about the Jedi and the eyes of the Jedi. She's like, no, this is Ben Solo. Yeah. Oh, not Ben. Was he? He
Ben Solo.
Ben Solo. Okay, Ben Solo. They did the Force teleportation with the lightsaber. I don't like it. It makes no sense. At that point, why doesn't he just teleport by her side?
Yeah.
Why you can't? That's not the Force. Can't move mass like that because then you can do anything. Huh?
What scene was that?
So when he's fighting Knights of Ren with this little blaster, right? And then Rey's about to kill Palpatine. She puts the thing behind her back.
Behind his back. Oh, that was so dope. Oh, that was one of my favorite parts.
But conceptually, it doesn't.
Yeah. It looks cool, but it does not fit the universe at all. Because now there's no limits of what the Force can do if you can move mass like that.
Now it's just magic.
Okay.
It's sleight of hand magic at that.
But there was an audience behind her, so they all saw it. So like, hey, Palpatine. No, they let him. Like, oh, he got it.
There were people standing behind
the whole arena.
It's like that show Masked Musician, how he gives away all the secrets. They got to see the magic from behind. It just actually teleporting. Well, I wonder what it looks like. They always do it off camera because they know it makes no sense. And wasn't Ben surrounded as well?
Yes.
So okay. Yeah. Now, get me out of here. Get me out of this. Are we done with this part?
I think we're done with this part. We see Lando's laugh again when he brings everyone in. Mm-hmm. I like that. I guess they beat everybody. Let's see. Chewie gets a medal at the end. Call back to episode 4 when we see at the end everybody gets a medal except Chewbacca. Now he finally has the medal.
He's nothing but an animal.
It wasn't even like a ceremony. Some random person just runs like, "Hey, this is for you." I thought that was funny. Okay.
Oh wait, real quick about Chewie. You ever think about how like Lando approaches him later and is like, "Hey man, it's just me and you now," and Chewie's like, "Man, I don't fuck with you like that." Like we ain't brothers.
He remembers in episode 5 where Lando and Chewie leave and he's wearing Han's clothes.
Han Solo's clothes. Just have Han in the back.
Oh man.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's me and you, Chewie.
He's listening to space funk.
He probably did take back that. Oh no, I guess he didn't. She went to Tatooine to plant the lightsabers, and she had a new one. She made her little staff one, and then she said, "I'm Rise Skywalker."
I had, I think something pretty funny about that is that, of course, that old lady shows up asking, who are you? He says, "I'm Rey." Does she ask what her last name is again?
I think so.
Okay. But
or who do you belong to, or something like that?
Something like that. But I thought it was just really funny. Let's put this in a different context. Post World War II, you find out that your grandfather is Hitler. And at the end of someone asks you, who do you belong to, or who are you? You say, yeah, my name is Justin Roosevelt. So that's essentially what she did. When she just told this random woman that, yeah, I'm a Skywalker now.
I thought for a second they're gonna make that random woman Palpatine's wife. She said, "Well, I don't want no one to know about you, so I'm gonna send you in exile on Tatooine." And then they end the movie for looking at the sun.
Twin sunset again.
So I thought the movie was straight garbage. Like I said, 2.5.
Wow. Yeah.
I think I'll take mine down.
7. 6?
Yeah. Now that y'all talked me into it, You guys literally just spent 2 hours telling me every detail wrong with this movie. So how can I sit here and say 7.5?
But what did they do right is a good question.
They didn't do anything right. The plot,
everything I thought was right.
Look, all right. the sun setting. That was a good scene, right?
We can. All right, Jason, you keep confusing
all scenes. Just callbacks.
Jason, you always, when you defend movies, you always call out one scene. One scene does not make a whole. All right.
Okay.
Movie bad. So then this made me think about Star Wars as a whole. And now I think about it, I only like 3 movies. The 12 that they made.
Pull up your list now, so you know.
Huh?
I said I'm pulling up my list, so I know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I only like episode 3, 4, and 5. I don't like anything else, any other movie they've made.
You didn't like 6?
What about Rogue One?
No,
I liked Rogue One. I like Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was very good.
You name me one character, all right?
Rogue.
That's not her name, Mason. That's not her name.
This is a team. You know what she said? This is Rogue One.
All right, but give me a name of one of the characters. Only thing I liked about Rogue One was just the last scene with Darth Vader lighting people up.
That was crazy.
Like I said, one scene does not make a whole movie.
Okay, but the idea that, if you're not out there reading the books, then there's an idea that you don't know anything about Rogue One, right? Mm-hmm. And so going into it, and I'm talking about a movie. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about the movie. I go into the movie and we're introduced to all these characters, and then they end up dying for the cause at the end. All of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I was just like showing someone a movie just to like start them off, I would probably show them Rogue One, just because it is clear, concise, and I think it's very good, just like as a movie goes.
Oh, you thought it was a good movie? I thought it was bad, and the plot.
Really?
The way they fly around the planets too quickly. The plot.
Would you at least give it the best of the spin-off films?
It's only been 2.
3.
What was the other one?
Okay, well, technically, they include Star Wars: The Clone Wars as a spin-off film.
I'm talking about the new stuff. I like Star Wars: The Clone Wars film over Rogue One.
Okay, well, that I agree.
And that movie was not great.
I agree.
I like that more than
Okay. I did like Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I think I liked Rogue One better. Rogue One, Star Wars: The Clone War, and then Solo would be at the bottom of that list.
Solo is terrible.
Do y'all have y'all Star Wars list in general about everything?
Yeah.
I'll run through my top.
Yeah.
I'll tie Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sith for number 1. Number 3 spot I will give to, I guess, Episode 4. Episode 4 really isn't my favorite. I think a lot of people do dislike it because it is the first one, and I did a lot with a little bit, so I guess that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did not like Episode 2. After that, I think all of them are just equally bad.
Yeah, you just gave me a top 3. I understand.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at right now too.
So wait, what were your top 3, Justin?
Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith tied for number 1, and then Star Wars Episode 4.
Okay. You guys didn't like Attack of the Clones? You didn't like Episode 2?
No. Only the last 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I like the plot. I like the idea. At least with the prequels, they stuck to a theme. Unlike this new trilogy, I like the idea of the prequels. It's just this writing in the first 2 were not the plot. The dialogue stuff was not great.
Side note, the reason I think the original trilogy worked is George Lucas had actual actors telling him, "Hey, people don't talk like this." Because when you let George Lucas just write and then direct how he wants people to talk, that's how you get the prequel dialogue. So I don't think he had that the second go around.
Ooh, okay. I would say Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones. I like those first 3. I like 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
I understand that the Phantom Menace was not a good movie, but I do like I like young Anakin out there, out here trying to do it. But
that chase scene, can we talk about chase scenes, car chases through the desert?
What chase scene?
In the first episode?
Oh,
Phantom Menace?
When he's in a race or what?
Yeah, when he's in the race.
Oh, okay, the race.
Is that cool?
I liked it.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
The only thing I liked about that movie was young Anakin, and when he said, his midi-chlorians are off the chart. When he said all that stuff about midi-chlorians, that made me laugh.
I like young Anakin hitting on young Natalie Portman when she's 10 years older than him.
Yeah.
Playing the seed so far in advance.
I know, right? That's funny. But yeah, I would do 3, 2, something between 4 and 5. I do like I have to pick one of those, 4 and 5. Then it goes to 1 and then 6.
Mine's really close to Justin's. I'm stuck between 5 and 3. And then these 4's in there somewhere. But ever since I heard that McClunky, I think I'm gonna have to jumpstart number 4 to my number 1 just for that.
Bet you have. McClunky.
What?
that tips the balance. So it'll be number 4 for McClunky, followed by 3/5. Can't decide.
Wow, really 4 above 3?
Just because of McClunky. All right.
Wait, hey, what do we say? You said this.
That's it. The whole scene, yeah. But that gave that, like, scenes can give you points, but you can't be a whole movie based off one scene. Right?
Oh, wow.
So let's say everything was at like a flat like 80. But when he said McClunky, I gave it 80 and a half. All right. There you
go. Quick thing about that. They were talking on the radio. George Lucas sold the radio I guess movie script read to NPR for $1. So I didn't know this, but NPR, they've been doing readouts of Star Wars basically forever. I think they have it. I think they've done it on most of the movies. And John Lithgow, he plays Yoda, and it's so bad. I mean, it's really bad. I don't know who's gonna have to do it, but someone's gonna include that audio right now because it's so bad.
And he shared the fact that he just couldn't find anyone who. And I said, "Oh, impatient is he?"
That I had turned the station. It made me think less of him as an actor, and he wasn't really acting.
He was doing his job.
He was just talking really badly. Yeah. But yeah, Nathan, go ahead and rate these movies.
Yo, I'm scared to say my rating.
And we already know it's going to be all over the place. It's all right.
Okay. So this how I'm rating it. If I had all of these,
987. Go ahead.
If I had all of these on VHS, right, and I had a full day where all I had to do was just watch Star Wars, the first one I'm picking up is definitely Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Second one I'm picking up, probably Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Third one I'm picking up is Empire Strikes Back. That's the one where, Luke, I am your father, right?
Yeah.
Then I would pick up Rogue One. Then I would pick up freaking guys, I'm sorry. I'd pick up Episode 9 and I'd watch that.
All right.
Just because the fight scenes. Okay. Visually, this movie puts all of the other movies to shame. Like, just strikingly.
Okay, I would say Last Jedi look better than this one.
What? Yo, no, okay, well, yeah, there was that part in The Last Jedi where they went light speed and they shot right through that destroyer, and they did like the suicide bomb thing. That's pretty. I don't know. I had pretty pictures, but hey, that's just my rating.
Yeah.
So, and I think the lightsaber fights were really good in this movie in Episode 9.
Do you think that, AC? I know that's your favorite part.
Yeah. All right. So yes, I like plots. I do. I care about the plot, but I also like lightsaber. I don't mind admitting I like lightsaber fights because I remember thinking, man, I would really like to have a lightsaber. You know, I want to do that. In this movie, they give you lightsabers, but they don't give you that many battles, actual fights with lightsabers. Right?
In Episode 9?
Yes.
Yeah, they weren't fighting to kill. They were just dancing.
Yeah. Half of the energy. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. So, in the scene where they're fighting on the broken Death Star, Kylo has already said, "I'm not here to kill you." Okay. He's already said that. So he's not trying to kill her. She, I guess, is trying to kill him, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do to make sure he doesn't die. And the only reason he gets hurt is because of external forces, you know? But the thing about it is, it got really physical in there, right? And it got really hot. And you were just like, when are they going to kiss already? Because in that scene alone, you could tell like they were just getting a little too close. And it was going to be like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith scene where after they finish like shooting up each other, they're just going to start making love.
Was
on
there
a
any
broken
other
Death Star.
lightsaber fight after that? That was it.
Yeah, see, I'm not gonna say the thing between Palpatine is a lightsaber fight because all she did was just hold it up. Okay, and the thing between Kylo and his henchman, I don't
his heavy metal band.
Yes, I like when you said chemical room. Yeah, the thing between that, I don't consider that really a lightsaber battle because it's just he has a lightsaber, people don't. That's not a fight. All right. It's not a fight. So, I mean, I get it because who else is going to be fighting against the Jedi other than Kylo? Because Palpatine definitely ain't. Up until he sucked that life force out, he had no fingers, So, who? And I get that. Who? There is no one.
So make people up, right?
Exactly. Right. So, I mean, at least Snoke, right?
Yeah, his henchmen had little
Snoke
lightsabers.
never picked
Yeah,
up
they had lightsabers.
But if you go back and watch that scene, it's only worse. So I wouldn't recommend it. You see people like taking it like a video game where like, all right, you go in, I'll scoot back, and they attack. And another guy says, all right, my turn, tap out. So don't watch that scene again if you're listening.
Ooh,
I watched it again and it was terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nathan.
Yeah, I think that's why what you mentioned is why episode 3 is like a fan favorite, and it's because episode 3 had the most people with lightsabers fighting the most people with lightsabers of any of the other movies.
One man had 4 lightsabers.
Yeah.
He knew we wanted.
You're right. Wow, you're right.
If you just had back-to-back scenes of just like a tournament of just light Jedi versus Sith, bro, that would be the best movie ever. You don't have to go destroy planets and conjure up fleets and have a villain with no fingers.
Why couldn't this trilogy get one movie without blowing up a planet?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
It's only been, I don't know the exact number. Justin, Xavier, you guys can correct me on this, but the time between the Death Star and the ability to put a what do we call it, a plug and play Death Star on your own ship. I don't understand how we get that type of technology that quickly. I mean, I get that
they go from a moon-sized planet killer to a planet-sized planet killer, and then they minimize it down to just ships.
So a little add-on, a little DLC pack.
Yeah. So that alone is already points off on the movie because that doesn't make any sense. I get it, sci-fi, I get it. But if you're gonna make if when it comes to sci-fi, if you're gonna make certain things become important to the plot, it has to stick through it. That because you again, like we talked about, you can't add stuff just so that this movie makes sense. But then now I'm thinking that Yoda is actually not a great Jedi warrior because he didn't do anything really half of those movies.
Yeah.
Like teleport. I mean, you have Kylo and Rey teleporting in their 20s, and Yoda's how old when he dies? Like 900?
900 plus.
I'm assuming at that level, he should be able to teleport. Like if there was anyone, it would be him.
Yeah, even if he could do the regular little move objects around across light years, he should have been able to master. Maybe I should move myself across light years.
Yeah, this movie started out. Remember, she was just floating with those rocks floating around her, Rey in the little jungle,
little infinity thing going on.
I was like, "Yo, that's stronger than I've seen any Jedi ever." And this is the beginning of the movie. I've never seen any other Jedi do that.
And she shoots lightning out of her hands by accident.
By accident, not the disable the ship type lightning, but the blow up the ship type lightning.
Oh yeah.
Did her? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, like yeah, you're right, Nathan. She blowing up ships with that lightning. Now, why didn't Palpatine lightning blow up those other ships?
He hadn't learned that yet.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah, he had one of those things where his lightning wasn't in like a powerful impact. It wasn't precision, or it wasn't accuracy or precision. It was more of just kind of like a broader.
He wasn't focusing on one thing.
Yeah. It's just like he's like, let me bring in a lightning storm and give you guys. That someone out there was like, good thing I have the surge protector package on my ship. Now I'll be okay. But yeah, what was I? Oh, what was I going to say real quick? Did her eyes turn yellow throughout the movie, or were they always kind of yellow like that?
I didn't see anything.
I don't think it got like Sith yellow.
Her eyes didn't. You didn't think they turned a little yellow?
The only character whose eyes I looked into was the black girl.
Yeah, because she was.
Hold on, I know we finished the movie. Let me go back.
I'm sorry.
You're brutal.
When everybody was celebrating on the planet, and everybody's giving hugs, you know, and Poe looked at his girl. He's like, "Huh?" She said, "No." He said, "All right, I see you." I like that scene right there. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. He said,
maybe a little bit, huh? I mean, we did say the galaxy. She said, "Come on." He said, "All right, I'll try again later."
He's still trying to get her to take off that helmet to this day. He doesn't know what her face looked like. Yeah.
Yo, what if she had yuck mouth on the bottom of her? Oh, okay, man. Did y'all notice her nose was squished in the helmet?
I didn't notice she had makeup on, even though she was wearing a helmet.
Oh yeah, she was wearing makeup.
That'd look really funny if she took off her helmet and it was just makeup on the little, just on a bar of where her eyes were.
That's what Batman does when he puts on the mask. He puts makeup around his eyes, and that's it.
Just around his eyes. The rest of her face is just acne, just pure, just.
You imagine Batman takes off his mask and someone gets a picture, and the next day the article reads Batman does blackface. Say, wait, no. Guys, I was it's makeup. But yeah. Next thing on the list is Star Wars The Ewok Adventure. Looking forward to catching up on some of these.
Yeah. Ewok spin-off TV shows.
Wait, that's a real thing?
Yeah.
Not yet.
I thought you were joking.
Oh, it is?
Wait. Oh, it hasn't come out yet?
No, you're joking.
Please. Unless you're joking. So, yeah, Star Wars.
I'm not joking.
As a franchise, I think I am a fan of Star Wars. I know I talk bad about every other movie, but maybe because I don't like the movies. But I like the universe, I like the Star Wars universe, I like the video games, I like the books and the comics. It's just these movies are straight garbage though, straight garbo.
I think most of my fun with Star Wars, Battlefront 2, or one of the PC games where it's like a strategy game.
Yeah, everything besides the movies, right?
Yeah, the Legos.
Lego. Ewok Adventure is a real thing. It says the Ewok Adventure was one of 4 films to be awarded Emmys for outstanding special visual effects.
What, you got an Emmy?
Yeah.
Man, Jack didn't even get an Emmy.
It was also nominated Outstanding Children's Program.
Oh, it's a children's program.
Yeah.
It's not for adults.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
What do you think what? You think Ewoks out there doing? It could be even remotely adult content. Come on now.
They did brain a guy with a stone. Episode 6 took his helmet off and smashed him.
Oh yeah.
We probably have the biggest kill count in the rebellion if we're being real.
Everyone's playing until the Ewoks show up. Yeah.
That's why they didn't go with their planet. They're afraid of them this time. First Order want nothing to do with them.
You would think they go back and be like, "Yeah, this is definitely the first planet we're about to eliminate right here."
Yeah. Why did Palpatine blow up that planet first to show the world?
Yeah,
see what he has.
Royally embarrassed the First Order. Dang.
Bunch of teddy bears. That's all my notes I have on this. So yeah, this new trilogy, didn't like any of them. I think I like The Last Jedi over this movie. I think this is my least favorite Star Wars movie.
No.
Like, they had no reason. I can't think of a single reason why they should have brought Palpatine back. It would have made just as much sense that they brought Jar Jar Binks back if he was the villain. That would have been the same thing.
Man,
I would have preferred that. That would have been.
That would have. Now, Justin, how would you feel about that?
The Jar Jar theory?
Yeah, I mean, if that happened,
I mean, I wouldn't like that either. I really don't like these.
No.
What would you like, Justin? What would bring a smile to your face?
In all honesty, I think they could have just left Star Wars the way it was, or them not doing a follow-on to the Skywalker family, doing a whole new thing. Yeah, I would have liked to see several different Star Wars stories, maybe some sequels with those stories, but not this.
Yeah, I saw an article saying, well, I didn't read it because the title said "perfect ending to the Skywalker Sega. I was thinking, well, Episode 6 was a good ending. I don't know why they had to branch off that. They couldn't just make its own thing.
We discount those kind of opinions on this show.
That's why I didn't finish reading the article.
I have a funny story of something that happened in the theater.
Yeah, what happened in the theater?
Wait, is it racist?
Yeah, actually.
Wait. Before you go full racist. Hold on. So you said that you would have been okay if they just stopped making movies, like if they had stopped at 6 for the Skywalker story.
Yeah, I'm okay with no more Skywalker stuff. I want to see something different.
Wow. Okay. So then think about it. You could have had 3 more movies of Han Solo type content. Would you want that?
Oh no, I mean Han Solo ties in. I don't want anybody from.
Okay.
These movies. I want new characters.
Okay, so kind of like Mandalorian.
Yeah, like Mandalorian is doing.
Okay.
And not that I've seen it.
Now, what if Baby Yoda has shown up in this movie? How would we feel about that?
Upset.
Yo, Justin would turn inside out.
Very upset.
Pull his skeleton out of his body and walk.
I can't escape this Baby Yoda.
Click clack out the theater.
Man. Okay.
What story you got, Nathan?
All right. So did they have people dressed up as Star Wars characters at your theater?
There are a couple.
Not mine.
Like who you could take pictures with and stuff?
Oh no.
Okay. So we walked into this theater and there's like a BB-8 rolling around and a replica R2-D2 rolling around, like remote control, and then you got a couple stormtroopers, you got a couple soldiers, I don't know. And then you had Kylo Ren. He was over there with his lightsaber. And there's a line and people were taking pictures with the people, right? And so we took a picture with this group, right? And I didn't want to because I was like, man, this is really nerdy. But I was like, okay, I'll just stand next to Kylo Ren. He seems pretty cool. And so I just kind of lean on Kylo Ren and we take the picture. And I walked right past the stormtroopers, by the way. I don't know why stormtroopers are like worthless, even in real life. Like if you're dressed up as a stormtrooper, I looked him in the eye and I walked past him. And he was like saying hi and like holding his hand out to handshake. But I
didn't even wave.
I didn't even wave. I was like, you're nothing to me. Like a blaster could. Finn could one shot kill you. 360 no scope kill you. But so okay, this is what's funny is after we take the picture, I look at Kylo, and Kylo's like, he's like 6'5", and he's pretty, like when I leaned on him, he was pretty solid. I was like, dang, have you seen the movie yet? And he's like, no, I haven't. I was like, oh, but you live it. He's like, yeah, fool, every day I live this thing.
What?
And then I was like, oh yeah, and I walked away, and then it hit me. I was like, yo, and I walked up to him. I said, yo, are you black? He's like, yeah, fool. And all the stormtroopers and the other people dressed up, they all like turned around and looked at Kylo like they had just discovered that he was also black. Like, wait, you're black this whole time? But it was like, imagine a fully outfitted Kylo Ren, like with the mask on and everything. Yeah. You get up close to him, he's like, yeah, fool, every day I live this thing, man. I could not stop laughing.
Black man.
Because that is that's like the least black thing to do, is dress up as Kylo Ren and take pictures with people. But the most black voice I've ever heard came out of that mask. Maybe that's why I enjoyed the movie, because I had that perspective.
Yeah, I might have gave it some points too, if I had someone at my theater doing that.
I live it every day, fam. Yeah,
what time did you go see it, Xavier?
Saw it today around 11:40, I think.
Oh, okay. They might be there now, right?
Yeah. They were most likely there last night.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's usually Thursday crowd stuff. Why didn't I go yesterday? Oh, I didn't want to see the movie. I forgot. I'll maybe watch this.
You're glad you did.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I've like I said, at least with Last Jedi, I didn't feel the urge to leave the theater. This one, I was just hurrying. I go to Alamo Draft House, so like at the 45 minute, when it's 45 minutes left, they'll give you the receipt. So when I saw them give me the receipt, I was like, oh, thank goodness, it's almost over. That's the feeling I was getting during this movie.
What did you order,
What I get, what's whatever the thing is with the jelly, the burger with the jelly in it. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
I don't know the real name of it. I write down jelly burger. Remember the episode of SpongeBob when Mr. Krabs had that jellyfish people being tortured?
Jellyfish jelly.
yeah, jellyfish jelly. So I just call it the jelly burger, and they know what I'm talking about.
I don't like that. I don't like that you go to a place and you just write down, "Yeah, I'll get the jelly burger," and they're like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that, Nathan. I'll look at the real name later. Jabbing my tongue.
I know. Real quick, I was thinking about this. There was you remember that kid in one of the movies that he was sweeping brooms?
Yeah.
And he used the Force casually like that. Would have liked to know what he's doing right now, right?
And JJ said that didn't happen. All right.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, you see, this whole movie, he went out of his way to dismiss everything that happened. Did you see them reference anything?
No.
From that movie besides Luke being dead?
No, they said Snoke names once, even though he was a major character.
And they gave him 8 words.
He's like, words like, I made Snoke.
Like, but how? And you're like, wait, how did you survive the Death Star? He said, I've died before. And I was like, so you did die. Then why are you in this nasty body? Why are you not in a new body?
I mean, at this point, if you can suck life force, you can give it. So he could have put himself into somebody else's body, easy. Which is what he was going to do. He was gonna
basically
have Rey kill him, and then he was gonna be like, then you'll be infused with 1,000 years of Sith. But then it was like what he was really saying is, no, it'll be 1,000 years that I have that is now going to go into you, and now I will be you, and I will control you.
And that was another thing. Is like Rey was still, trying to be a good Jedi. What if she's just like, yeah, I'll kill you, and then she kills him. Like, just not out of anger, but just out of trying to save the galaxy.
Hatred.
Yeah.
He's
like, crap, it didn't work. And
then, try it again. Come back again. Try again. All right? Try again.
She doesn't need to say everything out loud. She could have just been like, yeah, I'll kill you and blah, blah, blah. But in her head, she'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm a good girl. And, he, kill him.
And his death in this meant nothing. Sure, he got turned to ashes before now. I was like, he got turned to ashes last time when the Death Star blew up. All right? He's going to come back again. We'll see him again in 30 years. All right? He'll wait until Rey's dead. He'll try again with someone else.
Said that you are my great grandson. You will be infused with 1,000 years of he's out there practicing before he does the meetups. Yeah, he comes back every 100 years to try it again.
I mean, and that's what I can expect. They haven't told me anything otherwise. I know they're going to explain it all in the comic books, but people aren't reading comic books. The general audience is not reading comic books, so they don't have any answers. Maybe that's why I enjoy Star Wars media that's not part of the story. I mean, that's not part of the movies. Like the Clone Wars is really good. Did you watch Clone Wars, Nathan? The TV show?
The TV show? I started with Disney Plus.
Okay. Nathan, you started yet? I know you said you want to start.
Yeah, I'm on episode 3. Yeah. It's a nice, easy watch. Like I can just watch it without having to lose my knowledge of other shows. Like,
yeah. What's that new? There's a new Star Wars movie or show, not game.
Yeah, Fallen Order. I played that.
Fallen Order.
It's good.
It is.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's really, really hard.
Really, really hard. No, I mean I played on the hardest difficulty setting and I beat it. No problem. I had problems in the beginning, but after I learned how to play the game, it was fairly easy. Okay. Yeah, it was a good game. Darth Vader shows up at the end. Spoiler alert. When he kills the main antagonist, and then you try to fight Darth Vader, but you only get 3 hits before he just chokes you, and then you just got to start running. And then at the end, the only reason we escape, we're fighting him underwater, and our character, he breaks the glass and swims away. And then as the water's flooding in, Darth Vader can't swim, so he's holding back the water. And that's the reason why we escape. But I was thinking it's hard to explain, but they were really far underwater, like miles and miles up underwater. So that was a lot of pressure. So Darth Vader was really holding back a lot of he was pushing off a lot of force right there. I don't know if Darth Vader's always been that strong, and I get confused like when I read these comics with him and things like that, and how he got his butt kicked by Luke in Episode 6. Yeah, I don't like Episode 6. So
he said, "Take off my mask so I can see you one more time." Luke said, "Yo, you are ugly." Said, "Bro, what is that smell?" Man, what did he have? Like a permanent harmonica in his mouth or something like that? What is that? I can't get that out of my head. That was because you go through the whole thing thinking, okay, you're thinking, how does this guy age inside of a helmet like that? And then you finally see his face. It's obviously pale, but it's like a Chucky doll. It's like weird stitching everywhere, and it was, yeah. They didn't update his tech throughout all that time. They did like preventative thing, right? Because he was like dying. Mm-hmm. But then they didn't be like, all right, you've healed now, so let's give you a helmet where you can.
Palpatine did that on purpose. That way he can never be able to throw him.
Do what?
Palpatine purposely made Vader's suit, not at its, not really good. So
he can never, like defeat him.
Yeah.
So all right, because he
killed him for zap lightning. That's all it takes.
Wow. Oh. Because you see his helmet, and then you see when you look from the inside of his helmet, it's like, what was it? It's just red.
Yeah, everything's red.
Everything's red. How is that helpful? So yeah, I guess you're right. That it's pretty garbage.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about Star Wars. I like the universe, but I do not like the movies. Yeah. Got anything else?
Gotta. Guess if I rewatch everything, I gotta reevaluate. Yeah, like you were saying, I think I identify more with just not the movie.
Yeah. Nathan, the new Star Wars game is not hard, so you can feel free to jump in that. Get that PlayStation 4.
It's on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Don't say that fake stuff, Nathan. You say, "Oh, it's on PlayStation." Like you're giving any attention to the idea of you getting a PlayStation. Yeah, people always say they're like, "Oh, okay." They say like the one word in a statement to like make it seem like they're paying attention or even have a care.
That's funny.
Say, "Yeah, I'm about to run a marathon." And it'd be so hard. Say, "Oh, you're doing a marathon, huh?" Yeah.
I know it's a long podcast, Nathan. You should have just said something. Go ahead, take us out then, Justin.
No. Because I really wanted to. So someone showed me. We can talk about it offline.
Okay.
Yeah, for anyone crazy enough to steal beer at this time, thank you. Let us know your thoughts about Star Wars, whether you love it or hate it. But we know you're a smart listener because you listen to this podcast, so we know you hate it.
Whoa. Yo.
Yep.
What happened? Your neck?
Yeah. Without further ado, we'll see you all in season 2. Y'all be safe out there.